First 5 years, I wouldn't. It doesn't even feel like we've been married for that long. To be
I feel
honest.
like I'm lying sometimes.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like we've been. It's so when you even ask me first 5 years, I don't know. We've been friends from day one, and we're still friends. So another thing is, and that's why it's easy for me to go on holidays with you because it's bonding time. We're friends. We gossip a lot.
Yeah.
About a lot of people and
Yeah.
a lot of things. So first 5 years, first 10 years, Dams has been my best friend. She's been my confidant. It hasn't changed. For me, it hasn't. I don't know about you.
First 5 years of marriage, like he said, sometimes I feel like I always hear that, oh, that's when, people are learning to, know each other, and then there are a lot of fights break out and all that. But for us, I think our first 5 years of marriage was like, yes, we're free kind of time, not like, so we just used to travel, Miami, Jamaica, without the children. I remember leaving, I was still nursing. My daughter was 3 months old, and both of us went to Dubai for Christmas, and my mom literally was about to lose her mind. But anyway, one of my mother-in-law was like, I saw his auntie, she was like, 3 months old baby, and you want to travel with your husband. Okay, no problem. I'm buying Tojo, we'll take care of the babies, and that was it. Like, for us, it was like time to, okay, no limits now. There's no big mommy, no mommy, nothing. It's just both of us. Yeah, I mean, God has been good, and to be honest with you, not everybody has it like this. I'm so grateful, and this is not because I'm on the camera. People that know us, our individual characters. My husband, separate apart from marriage, he's a good person. So first 5 years, we didn't have any major fights. I mean, we're learning to know each other, discover each other, but discover each other without fighting. Discover each other via communication, talking. How we know that we are very angry, like if you want to know if my husband is very angry, that's when he's quiet. And if he wants to know when I'm very angry, I'm quiet. So you say, Dams, what's up?
Or you don't say bye-bye when you're going to work.
Yeah, or I don't say bye-bye, or say hi, or bye, or good morning, so just say something. Then we know that, this guy is upset. But apart from that, we're good. How the journey started. We met in May 2006, May 2006. A friend had spoken to him about me, and and then we happened to hang out at a particular, very popular place in London called Establishment. That's where we met. And I mean, he was so hyped up about meeting me, and all of a sudden, when my friend came to introduce us, he was just on the defensive. And my friend was like, oh, hi, this is DBC me Damala me DBC. And this is somebody who had been talking about me for weeks, and he just goes, oh, hi, and just walks off. I was like, oh my God, like this guy has the nerve to do this. I was like, I'm not even interested in him anymore. And then he happens to call me like a couple of days or weeks afterwards. Why are you laughing? Yeah, and that was the beginning.
She's pretty much said everything. I didn't remember actually, but I remember I'd seen you somewhere. I liked the way she looked. And I'd spoken to your friend, BC, actually, about you. We were meant to meet up later in the club, Establishment. And I remember you were expectant, and I didn't want to make it so obvious. So when I think you and BC walked up to me or something like this. I actually remember the shirt I was wearing, the flowery shirt, yeah. So they walked up to me and she was like, oh, this is Damola, and I was like, hi. I actually said
hello. She just did this, hi, and just...
Damn, it wasn't that bad. Because she was expecting me, so I actually needed to do a bit of shakara, so I was just like... It was
on the defensive.
Okay, ma. So I said hello, walked off, but I knew I liked her. So I put a call through later. We spoke for a while. And
you drove down to see me that same night. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the beginning. That's how the journey started.
Right.
We won't give TMI. We'll stop there.
Okay. Our wedding day, I don't think...
Flashback to our wedding day.
So we just wanted to get married. I remember this, I think they messed up your dress.
To show you how bad it was, like, I don't even understand. There was like one kind of spirit. I can't explain what happened. First of all, a typical bride would be very worried about what she's going to wear. I didn't care. Like, I just wanted to marry him. And they're like, okay, so are you not going to pick a dress? I remember somebody was saying, oh, go to Tiffany Amber back then. And I went to the store, and they're like, what do you want to wear? I'm like, I don't know what I want to wear. Anyway, I ended up getting my friend to make a dress for me. And basically, my friend did dress planning, color scheme. My own was that just allow me to marry this guy and I'm all right, kind of thing. So our wedding day, yeah, we had a color scheme, everything. I didn't have fun on my wedding day, but not because I didn't have fun on my wedding day because I was pregnant, I was feeling sick and all that. But he had his friends shaking bottles of champagne and they were spraying it all over the room. They carried him on his head. They were dancing, just behaving like my family. Because my family, they're very prim and proper. They're all these. So my mom likes to feel like the Queen of England, all of them, and they were just looking like, I bet Rocco Damola, like. It was a fun wedding though. I remember the AC stopped working and everybody was sweating like a goat. But people still, till today, they always say that they had major fun at our wedding. Okay, adjusting to married life. Okay, well, first of all, I'm not going to advise anybody or any youngster to go the way we went, but I mean, I'm going to try to be very, very honest. So, there was nothing new because before we actually got married, we were like white on rice. We were always together. I remember he had moved back from London then, and then he was staying at his brother's house. And like I was always there, like all the time. At that point in time, well, I'm married now, so I can say I lied to my parents that that I was going to stay with one of my aunties and all that. Anyway, this was the auntie that I was staying with at that point in time. So when we ended up, yeah, I said I was staying there because of his service. I hope she doesn't watch this, but if she does, okay, I'll apologize. Yeah, so getting married, he's like the easiest person to live with, really. He's so peaceful, so there was nothing really. I mean, we adjusted pretty fast. We've always been friends. We've always liked hanging out with each other. So there was nothing out of the ordinary, nothing new. And he knew that I didn't like to cook as well. I mean, I like cooking, but I don't like. There's a difference between cooking abroad. I know he's going to say cooking abroad and cooking in Nigeria. I actually used to cook while I was in uni. I single-handedly catered for my friend's event, 100 people, Funk Afrique, remember? But anyway, Sha. I don't really like to cook, and yeah, he already knew that from the start. So we go easy. We make easy meals, or if we hire somebody to help.
Or we eat out.
Or we eat out.
Yeah, like she said, I mean, we've always been used to each other. There was no pressure for me. The moment I moved back, I knew this was who I wanted to marry. I remember at the airport, I actually called you first before I called who came to pick me from the airport. You know, I hadn't spoken to you in a while. I was eager to see you. Then you left law school to come back. I think you were having exams and whatnot.
I came into town.
Yeah, you came into town.
Went to Lagos.
And this is strange. I know this is very strange. And like you said, I won't also advise any other one to take this. But the moment, before we got married, I actually said to her, I want to have a child. And she was like, you didn't have a problem with that, actually.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't,
But
because that's just crazy. Though.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, I didn't have a job.
Exact. My own job wasn't even paying
I
at the
only
time.
get one.
Yeah, so
And they had not paid him salary for like 3
3
months,
months,
so
yeah.
I don't know.
So I just decided, I said, do you want to have a child, you know? So I said I remember going to see your
He
mom.
went to meet my mom.
And I told her mom, I said, Mommy, I want to have a child. She was like, Mommy, Joe, what you moving on law school? I was like, I just thought I'd let you know, just in case everybody point a so you know why. So it's pretty easy. I mean, I'm not saying this because Dams is here. She's a good woman. She has a great heart. I'm glad I'm married to you. You make it easy for me. I try to be better for you. I'm not perfect. I'm trying. And the good thing about this marriage as well is that we are very considerate. You let me be me, I let you be you. And we always come to a compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the major thing that I think works for us is, the worst thing that can happen to me is to see my husband sad about something. And I think the same thing goes for him as well. So we don't like to see each other unhappy. So we just try to rectify things before. I think worst case, maybe we've gone maybe 2 days without speaking to each other. And that was even recently. Because before, the rule was that we're not going to, we won't go to bed mad at each other. Then after 5 years, it became 1 day. After that, 2 days. But then again, maybe like 30 minutes, 1 hour. We're quite easy, actually.
Which is why I'm on this show.
Yeah. Strategy for frustrations. Any frustrations.
Strategy for frustrations. You might actually find it hard to believe, but we actually don't argue. We're couples, we have our differences like every other couple does. You know, we disagree on some things. But, and I think this also has a lot to do with respect for each other. We don't raise our voices at each other, you know.
Never have. Okay, sorry, just maybe once.
And who did that?
I did.
Okay.
But I did because, what?
There's no reason.
Okay,
You did.
yeah,
Just leave it. Yeah. So we actually we try not to raise our voice at each other. So I hear people say they're shouting in their homes and all these things, but that's strange because that doesn't happen in my home.
Never.
It also helps me that when I'm upset, she's calm. When she's upset, I'm calm. And when we are both calm, we talk about it, you know. It's normal to fight as couples, to disagree over things, but we always look for a way to resolve these things. We talk about a lot of things. And what I also try to do is, even when she's at fault, which you also do as well, and I must commend you for that, is we don't wait for who talks to who first. So at times I have to swallow my pride and say, okay, Dams, we need to talk about this. And at times when I'm even acting like a child, she calls me and says, okay, Debs, so we need to talk. So it really helps. Okay,
so strategy, response to frustrations. Like you mentioned earlier, we really don't have any major frustrations. We do have disagreements as a couple, which we try to settle amicably. I think what really works for us, and one of the main reasons why I knew that, oh my God, like from the time I met him, I knew that I just wanted to marry this guy. Like for me, it was a do or die affair, and I'd had experience. Anyway, the bottom line is that he has the fear of God in him. It is ridiculous, and that's what works for us, the both of us. He doesn't want to offend his wife, but the reason why he doesn't want to offend his wife is because he doesn't want to offend God. And that's always key, and that's what a lot of people always overlook. So apart from respect for each other, respect for God is key. How much of our sex life changed after the kids started coming? I remember when I had my daughter, and you know, motherly instincts, you're a typical mother, newborn, you just like swoon over your newborn. It was all about, oh, my baby being comfortable. So my daughter used to sleep with us in the center of our bed all the time. Until I noticed that this man was just becoming cranky, but I didn't understand what the problem was. And then I'm like, what's going on with you? Why are you so cranky? The baby should not be sleeping with us in the same room. I'm looking at, but this baby is your child. And it's like, we need to separate it. There's a difference between, anyway, to cut the long story short, I had to move my daughter into a separate room. The way love is to a woman, that is what sex is to a man. So you always have to make yourself readily available. And so the minute he said, okay, my daughter, the baby had to move out of the room, did that, make sure that the baby was okay with the nanny. My mom was actually there at that point in time. Yeah. So, I mean, when my daughter was in the room with us, that's when things were a little bit, it was all about taking care of the baby. But as soon as the baby moved out of the room, yeah, he stepped up his game. I stepped up my game.
Okay, so sex after marriage, I don't think it's changed that well, except for that you can't go into strange places and have sex anymore. I thought, you know, so, you know, before we got married, obviously, We were adventurous, spontaneous, but obviously after marriage, at times,
Limited to
yeah, apart from that, at times, we've actually started and she'll be like, have you locked the door? I'm like, really? So there are things like that. But so far, so good, you know. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that I still enjoy having
yeah.
sex
I'm your
with my
wife, so
wife.
why
Yeah,
not?
so yeah. It's funny you just spoke about our daughter. Recently, I still had to fight you about our son.
Yeah.
Sleeping in our room.
Because my son is a mommy's boy, like he's,
No, it's
he
not
loves his
that he's a
mommy.
mommy's boy. It's that you refuse to let him sleep in his room. So
Okay,
we
kind
actually had a fight, and I told her he had to. At some point, I was beginning to look at him as like, "Are you trying to take my wife?" Again? So we had to.
So I had to bounce my son out
Yeah.
of the room
Yeah.
again. This
Yeah.
is like last month.
Yeah, exactly. So she's very attached to
The
her
kids
kids.
don't. Yeah, I'm very attached to my kids, but now I make sure that they don't sleep on our bed. Like that's our bed, and I make it clear to them now. Like before, they will just. I mean, if it's not back on time and they're sleeping, he too will just come and sleep. But now I try to make it clear to them, like, okay, this is mommy's room, this is daddy's room. You have your own room. Toby has his own room, so everybody stay in their own rooms, kind of thing. Yeah. Question time. You go first. You pick first. Sorry.
Okay. Excuse me. All right. So first question is, how are we similar, and how does that scare you?
Okay. How are we similar? We have a very weird sense of humor, and the fact that we don't have major fights, I think because we have similar characteristics, yeah, it's kind of scary. Scary in a good way. Most sometimes I feel like I'm lying, but I'm actually not, so it's kind of scary. Like sometimes I have to sit down and think that, okay, what is a major fight that we've had, or
Especially when you're with your friends and they're talking about issues they're having at home.
yeah, like when I'm with people and they have their own issues. In fact, there was at some point in time I had to make up stories,
I
like
remember that.
yeah, because I felt like I didn't have anything wrong with my marriage, but I had to just to feel among. I would just say, oh, but after that I was like, why am I gonna lie? There's no point lying. There's nothing wrong with my marriage because we're actually friends. So it's kind of scary that we don't have any major fights, and because of that, I'm scared of there being a major fight. So I'm very conscious. I just like this peace, and I just want it to be there like forever and ever and ever.
You actually make extra effort as well, I must say.
We both do.
You respect my privacy, and you respect my time with my friends,
Yeah.
which is also key.
Yeah, which a lot of women don't understand.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't always want to be with you, not because they don't love you, but everybody needs their own me time. Everybody wants to hang out with their own friends. Not that they don't love you, but when they're hanging out with friends that outweighing the family time, then there's a problem. But I think every woman needs to just learn to, except as a man that has just been messing up from time, I think every woman needs to learn, or every couple needs to learn to give each other space, just to let them, be who they really are. Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's your time.
I love this question. Why did you marry me?
I married you because I found a friend. From day one, you were someone I could. So, again, we both had jobs, and this makes no sense at all. She would come from her work, and we'll meet in the middle.
Just
to
see
see
for 2 minutes
to
or 5
eat
minutes.
just to eat lunch for
Yeah.
5 minutes. So our lunch was an hour.
Yeah.
You would travel 30 minutes to
get on the train.
get on the train. I would also come from work. So this actually does not make any sense because we would eat together for 5 minutes. She would go back to work. When I leave work,
We're meeting at my house.
I would actually go to her house again, and I won't leave till the last train is about to leave.
Maybe
and
like, oh,
yeah,
it's 11:45 now or something.
Exactly.
No more train at 12 o'clock or something.
Exactly. So I could not get enough of her. She was my friend. I enjoyed spending time with you. I still do. That's why I always encourage that we go on holidays together.
Yeah, he's big on
So I married you because you were my friend, and I knew, and you're pretty. I always wanted a pretty wife.
Yeah, like.
Yeah. And some things we can't say until. Yeah. Oh, you want me to say that?
Yeah. Debussy, you are an amazing person. You are God sent. You are God's gift to me. I always say that you're the best gift that God has ever given me. I'm thankful that you're the father of my children. I'm happy to be experiencing life with you. I'm happy that God has used you to transform my life in ways that I never thought my life would be transformed. I'm happy that you let me be who I really want to be. I don't have to pretend to be somebody that I'm not because I'm doing life with you. I love you. I don't think there could be any other man in this world that would be good for me. You are perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I wouldn't exchange you for all the money, gold, diamonds, and pearls in the entire universe. You're amazing. I love you.
Dams, where do I start from? You have an idea of how I feel. I don't even know where to start from, but if I love you, if anything ever happened to you, it would crush me. I thank God every day that I'm married to you. You make me happy. You give me peace of mind. You are my #1 supporter, even though you don't support my political ambitions. But you've shown me what it is to love unconditionally. You've shown me what it is to be supportive. I thank you for everything you've done for me. I can't thank you enough. You've been amazing. You've been a superwoman. You make sure I don't lack or want for anything. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Only my God can repay you, and I am so, so glad I am married to you. If I was to do it again, trust me, it would be you. You make it so easy to be married, my darling. I love you with everything I have, with every fiber I have in me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you, my darling. I love you.